Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Planet Loaf's EA E3 2016 press conference recap.
He got it.
Yeah, right? That's
got it in one.
Yeah, seriously. Only took a few tries. I'm Cena.
I'm Arya.
I'm Ruse.
I'm Dan.
And right off the bat, I think we can all agree EA this year...
I don't know about
Not
you.
great.
Yeah, let's be real here.
What were you expecting?
I was expecting more than what they showed us.
Well, you guys went with expectations of not having FIFA and Madden come up again. Like, it's every year going to be the same rehash.
At least Pele wasn't on screen this year.
All right, guys, come on.
Not much better, but
It's really disrespectful. Come on, guys.
Yeah, come on.
I think one of the things that was a disappointment, and we'll get to that, is that we're not seeing other conferences, Microsoft, Sony, were here's a game.
Yeah.
EA's turned into this weird show where they take us to a studio and we see concept art being drawn. Because we're not actually seeing a whole lot of real games.
Exactly.
True.
Yeah,
They're
I
talking
totally agree.
about their Access Pass and all that stuff
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Xbox. It's like, where are the games?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I-
totally agree.
Waiting for a new IP, waiting for something, and then we get Titanfall 2, which was like the only thing that was remotely in my interest. Basically.
I agree. So I think we can agree. Okay, best game personally, no doubt, Titanfall 2. No doubt.
Totally agree with you. I don't have anything wrong with the game
Right.
so far.
Yes.
I'm not gonna pre-order this game. I'm just gonna wait till it comes
Okay.
out. Not gonna make that mistake, even though wasn't really a mistake when it first launched. It was still an amazing game. I still played an insane amount the first month it came out compared to other games I owned. And you already know, and I'm not sure about you other guys, but I've owned 700 plus games on Steam. So
Yeah.
I didn't
account
know
in
that.
means
Wasn't it 1,000?
it's coming up on 1,000 soon. But account in out of all the games that I own, and a lot of them are old, but still I played that game more than Counter-Strike when it launched. I played it more than most of the other games, and it was just Counter-Strike I was playing at the time, so that's a big deal.
It is, and I have to really give props to Respawn and EA for actually listening to people, and you know what? Take your fucking campaign. Here's a campaign. Trailer looked very good.
A campaign that is really compelling.
Yeah.
With very little to sell it. Knowing not a whole lot about Titanfall, what the lore, what it's about, in just a very few brief moments, the fact that Titan has its own AI, its own personality, and has an attachment to their pilots, I'm in. You sold me. I want to play this game.
Yeah. That's so. They have the campaign. They have 6 Titans, I believe.
Yeah, they added way more customization by the sounds of it, more items, more loadouts, all that stuff. The grappling hook looked insane.
The
Grappling
hook, yeah.
As if a
Huge
game
thing.
didn't need more mobility. They just threw it at you. Here, now you can do this.
Think
too.
about all the games that have put grappling hooks in games and have used it, and how has it been effective, and how has it changed the gameplay mechanics and the movement mechanics, and in particular for Titanfall. This is going to completely change the movement mechanics. You're going to be jumping on your Titan, now you're going to be latching onto someone and knocking him out of the air. That was the most that
was incredible.
Did you notice them kind of stall in the air too and kind of hover a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit of them standing in the air for just added
changing direction too.
Yeah,
maybe I'm into it.
Yeah.
Titan melee kills look badass.
Swords now. You got swords.
Yeah, that looks like so. I'm assuming we'll see more different kinds of Titans. Like obviously melee ones with swords and really hulking, brooding ones, and
we saw the fire one as well. That was shooting the fire from its chest at the very end of the video. They announced 3 new ones and they built up on the 3 older ones. If I'm correct. So it's not like it's 6 brand new ones on top of the 3, making 9. It's 6, but the 3 that were there are now better than they were in the past.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'm predicting that the Titans from Titanfall 1 are now smarter than they were. Because remember, there was you played the multiplayer, I know this. But we actually played it in depth, too. You remember there was a class where there was a Titan that was actually smarter. It was like a perk that would make him more intelligent. If you were outside your Titan, it would attack Titans faster. It would lock on.
I don't remember that.
Like a loadout that makes them smarter, or what?
It's a perk. So like in Call of Duty, you have perks to make you run faster.
Yes.
Something that you have a perk for your Titan that makes it smarter.
That's really cool.
So it kind of feels like they're going to put that into all the Titans. Okay. And putting that into the Titans is adding way more depth.
That's interesting. I didn't even notice that. But
there's enough NPCs on the board. Now you're adding a way tougher NPC, which is way smarter. Mm-hmm. It should be... I'm hoping the AI mechanics are insane. Because if they're actually that good, This game, in my opinion, should be competing with the likes of the Twitch shooters out there, Quake, other ones out there.
Coming out this year too. So
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Wow,
coming out
I missed
October.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
and cross-platform, which
Is it August or September?
The multi-platform is now going to be so much bigger. Yeah.
Is it August or September for Quake?
I don't remember
Titanfall?
the dates.
No,
Quake?
I think it's a Quake.
Quake?
Is there a new Quake coming?
Yeah,
That was
there
the
is.
wrong conference, buddy.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that.
That's Bethesda. We'll get to that. But
Quick tease for you.
Yeah, quick
so
tease.
we can safely say our game of the show is clearly Titanfall.
From EA, has to be Titanfall.
Yeah.
We could talk about their battery games right now that came out. We could say the likes of, in my opinion, Madden and FIFA, we know what it is. It's a rehash every year. They add a couple mechanics for their animation, maybe slight tweaks to their shots in here, there for like the free kicks and the crosses and passes, but everything else was the same.
It is.
I love Titanfall 2. Probably in terms of real games that we saw.
Yeah,
that one
best
wins.
word.
But even with the little that we've seen, it's not my game of EA's conference.
You're clearly Mass Effect.
What's your game?
It's Mass Effect Andromeda, only because had nothing to do with the actual game that they showed, but just a couple sound bites of them talking about how in this game humans are the alien. Mm-hmm. You're now so far out of your element. That is something that I needed from BioWare to really remind me that they're not just making third-person Space Marine shooter.
Right,
There's something compelling that's different than Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. So I'm on board. Even just like one little CGI awkward smile animation is enough. That like I have restored a lot of interest in Mass Effect.
It looked like I haven't played any of them. I saw like the brief gameplay for it. Looks fantastic. I'm on board.
Really quick, I just want to add as well that with the Frostbite engine that they're using now, Mass Effect 1 to 3 were basically corridor shooters. They had outdoor environments that were essentially just badly masked hallways with really narrow canyons or conveniently placed obstacles that always kept you moving down straight lines. And I really get the impression that this is blown wide open, so it's totally going to change a lot of things. And
feeling it's more open world the game, basically.
Yeah,
much more
with the
open
cars
world.
too.
The Mako is back from Mass Effect 1, which means there has to be open environments.
One thing I'm hoping doesn't come back, because this was like the one reason why I didn't really mention Mass Effect right now was BioWare points. I'm not sure if you guys know about it. None of you guys are really like PC gamers, really, but BioWare points is their DLC currency.
Yeah.
It has never gone on sale once.
That's so pretentious.
So
BioWare points?
They did
BioWare
announce that whatever multiplayer is in Mass Effect Andromeda will not affect the campaign. And just based on sort of the show of goodwill and the better behavior we've seen from EA in the last couple of years, I think that this is BioWare, so it's a little out of EA's control, but I'm hoping that they're going to be a little bit more player-friendly and not abuse things like BioWare
seriously,
points.
that was just a massive choke. Like, I own Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. I don't own any DLC for any of the games, and I've had these games for years. Not once have I seen BioWare points go on sale. Obviously, they don't really sell it, like, actively on, like, this, the what's it called, Origin market, but still, big deal. Like, if people are being held back because they have to spend another $50 just to get all the DLC from Mass Effect. More, if I'm correct, actually.
Let's move on.
Forget the point system they have. That already sounds to me. I'll never play this game.
But that's the thing. If that's going to be a game like you're most anticipating, you think is going to be a good game, it's going to hold me back from purchasing it.
Of course, and it should. I'm glad to hear that. That it's not just blind faith.
And it's not just me. There's tons of people go on Reddit. There's tons of people who review the game and just rip on it just because of the DLC system alone. Everything else is fine.
Because Mass Effect 2 has a DLC that is far and beyond one of the best DLC packs I think ever.
Yeah.
Lair of the Shadow Broker. But we won't. Let's try not to talk too much about other things outside of EA.
Yeah, BioWare, their fan base. Am I right?
Guys, worst game of the show. I think we can all agree.
Sorry.
Ruse.
Okay, I'm just going to do 2 seconds of it. It's Madden 17, that's all we need to know.
Okay, Madden 17 is the best game?
That's for me. I mean, I only play a few EA Sports games. I've cut down on that. I'm more adventure-based, but Madden 17.
Okay.
I'm just looking forward to that.
Dope.
Yeah.
You can join the other 4 Madden players in Canada. Worst game, I think we can
cold.
all agree, is I appreciate how EA is taking this initiative to kind of like create an ecosystem for indies, just like PlayStation and Xbox. They have been doing for quite some time. But FIFA.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was.
I'm gonna pass. Bland color palette, way too dark. Like I just feel like
We've seen this before. Is how it felt.
Yeah,
Unfortunately. Right?
Exactly.
So
like,
it feels like shit.
it does feel like shit. So that's my like worst, most disappointing game.
To its credit, I think where Fee falls is that EA had so little to actually show on stage that Fee weirdly ended up being the spotlight.
That's
if
true.
you put Fee in a montage or on stage with 2 or 3 other indies, sandwiched between larger, more focused titles, Fee could be just a nice little aspect of that. I don't want to shit on Fee because I don't know how it plays. You know,
Okay,
it's probably
yeah,
pretty
okay.
good. But it just is being held up on this pedestal now as like a focal point of
Yeah.
EA, and I don't think that's the right place for it.
I agree. It had a lot of stage time, and that was a result of that.
EA was getting tired of EA. They're going to go FE now.
They should go
FE by EA.
I could agree with you, because that game was honestly terrible. Like I can't even remember it right now if you were talking about it right now. But if we're going to talk about games that really just put me off completely, has to go to FIFA. That story mode was just
Oh, yeah!
a deal
Yeah,
breaker.
good point.
Okay, good call. I forgot
point.
about that story. It was awful.
You're
point.
talking about being in a you're based in England, but you're playing in France. Do you think French people want to play a team that's based in England?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
pretty sure they
yeah,
want
yeah.
to play their home team. They
yeah.
want to play as their favorite player or something like that, or themselves on their favorite
with the
squad.
story mode too, like Fight Night Champion had that too, where like you're like a.
Are they trying
a
to compete
boxer.
with like NBA
But you-
2K or something
So
like that?
NBA
with their story mode?
2K16 has one of the most ridiculous, absurd stories.
Yeah, Spike Lee's like his thing,
Yeah.
right?
And unfortunately, FIFA doesn't even have that. It doesn't have camp. It doesn't have like, look at how dumb this is.
Yeah.
I can't wait to laugh at it.
Yeah.
So
And they said that in the future they might introduce like other teams and all that stuff. So maybe in the future you could be playing
This-
in Germany as your team, but what's that going to show for the other people around the world?
This is the highest selling game around the world. This is the highest sports game seller ever, probably, right?
Yeah.
FIFA.
Okay,
and
I
you're
would agree.
focusing a story based in England?
It's a global
not only
game.
that, there was no gameplay. Like you're boasting that this game it runs on Frostbite, yet I'm not seeing any gameplay for it.
And so many more
So
animations.
I just want to get this out there to the public.
I have no comment.
Cena wants more FIFA at E3.
Yeah, I do.
You want just 2 hours sports. Let's do it.
Pele, bring Pele back, buddy.
Guys,
What was
We need
with
more Pele.
all right,
the,
no more Pele hate.
who did they bring on stage at E3?
Didn't they bring out
have
Drake
no
last
idea.
year as well?
No.
No.
I mean this year. This.
Okay.
Jose Mourinho.
Right.
Mourinho.
Yeah.
No, I don't know who that is. Oh, that's a
He's
soccer player.
a manager.
Yeah, okay.
In particular.
Yeah, okay.
Probably pretty exciting to see him for the 2 seconds he came out.
Yeah.
If you know who that is and you like him, you go, oh yeah, he's here, cool. Then they talk and lose everyone.
Yeah.
They haven't learned yet that we don't want you to push some old man on stage
I agree, yeah.
to
Not
just
working.
ramble about things he's not familiar with.
Daniel, worst game.
Worst game is probably Fee.
B?
Not because it's a bad game, just because like it shouldn't have been presented that way.
I agree,
It
okay.
fell.
Will this cost EA?
Oh,
Well, so far the last 5 have cost them so far, but
I was saying
look how
fee,
far they
you
gone.
know.
the fee?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you were like,
Oh,
all right.
okay.
Well, the joke's not funny
I
anymore.
got you.
The joke wasn't funny back then.
Comment below if you like the joke.
It took me way too long to get that.
Okay, most surprising game, again for me, I really, really, really dug Battlefield 1. I thought the trailer they had for it kicked ass. I want to see more of the game. Like, it's interesting how they're going back to World War One, and you can see Call of Duty going into space, so 2 complete polar opposites. What do you guys think?
So far, yeah, I could agree with you. Battlefield looked really interesting.
Yeah, looks-
I don't know what can go wrong with it outside of again, if they totally destroy it like how they launched with Battlefield 4. It was everything was just wrong with Battlefield 4 when it launched. Nothing was shooting properly, all that stuff. So we just saw a basic demo of them playing locally in an arena. what's it going to be like online?
No, they need to stress test the shit out of
They really do,
I
because
think, yeah.
this is an online-based game.
Yeah.
It really comes down to how they support it.
I agree.
Battlefield is a formula or structure that is like immensely entertaining. The type of emergent stuff you can do when you're playing with 64 people on a map like that is pretty amazing.
Throwing vehicles as well gets even crazier. But
The destructibility in that is
buddy,
insane.
yeah,
Just blowing everything everywhere.
Yeah.
Holy.
Tanks rolling over
Yeah.
houses, just crumbling.
The Zeppelin crashing
Yeah.
and just like affecting the entire map. Dope.
All of that is there. The secret sauce is all there. It's just a matter of making sure that it all works.
Yeah,
and
I agree,
that- yeah.
polish the game, make it run properly. Don't make it another Battlefield 4 or what was that, Hardline?
Oh, buddy, don't even get me started on
Look,
Hardline.
here, this is what we should do. Let's not talk about Battlefield's
Okay.
disgracefulness and the success it had. It first started off, it was really cool, but then it's like Battlefield. All right, we're going to bring out Battlefield because Call of Duty's not going to stop. And then it's just like they don't care about the formula anymore. It's like we're going to sell it because we're EA.
Well,
And that's it.
I actually feel like
They have dedicated players too. So.
they are bringing it out.
True
I think.
similar shooters.
And I have to throw it out to DICE because the amount of work they put into detail in terms of visuals and sound design we saw with Battlefront.
Oh yeah.
The sound design in Battlefront is like
Arguably
ridiculous.
the best part.
Visuals as well,
and-
just insane.
From what I can tell, I'm not much of a historian, but it looks like they're putting that same amount of dedication into the vehicles, the guns. All of that is there. I learned from watching this trailer that there were things going on in World War One that I had no idea about.
Yeah.
So I gotta give it to DICE for being that dedicated to what they're doing. It's not, to me, it's not just a dumb shooter. They care about it.
They rolled the dice and succeeded.
They did.
Yeah, but
I like this formula where Ruzbe is going to throw it
all day, man.
at every topic.
Rusbay 101, Brad.
All right.
well, the one
Okay, so most surprising Battlefield 1.
most surprising, honestly, probably Titanfield 2 with like the gameplay mechanics and all that stuff. What I saw was very surprising and was enough for me to say that was the most surprising game. It was the best looking game in my opinion. Battlefield didn't catch my interest like Titanfall.
Okay,
Titanfall was by far, in my opinion, way better.
Well, I personally briefed on EA, so Star Wars looked good. Star Wars.
Okay.
But not really anything surprised me. I
Okay,
expected most of this, so yeah.
Most surprising, I would have to say it would be Titanfall. I never was on the boat for Titanfall, and just the little bit that they've shown really convinced me that I don't play a lot of shooters, but Titanfall might be one that I pick up.
So much fun.
One thing I noticed you guys didn't really mention in particular was going back to our previous point with you guys were mentioning the Battlefield engine and all that stuff. When we're talking about Battlefield 1, Battlefront had all the visuals, had all the audio done perfectly. What did they mess up? Because right now I can tell you,
Content.
you're not playing the game, and you're not playing the game. Content is not there. Depth is not there.
No story mode offline, right?
There's
Isn't it?
lack of maps. There's a lack of everything, basically. They had, not everything, but again, they had the visuals, they had the audio, they had primary gameplay mechanics down, but it was very flat, in my opinion.
Referring to Battlefront, right?
Battlefront.
So
And
Battlefront, my problem is this. This is a Star Wars game. Star Wars is based off movies,
but-
and you have no story.
But this is more to talk
Come on.
about.
Yeah,
more-
but like
They've got their
that's
story in
last year's
spades.
gripe, yeah.
Yeah,
When we get
that's
to the
what I'm
next,
talking about, yeah.
when we get to one of the next categories, we'll talk about Star Wars.
Okay, fine. Anybody have to add something about their most surprising moment, or can we move on to MIA?
Go on.
Okay, MIA. My prediction: Dead Space. I would have loved to see Dead Space. Wasn't there. Personally, very disappointed. How about you guys?
I just wanted to see it so you would be right, but I was like, their Office Space. That's what it really is. Like last time,
waiting
They're
for that
totally
joke.
developing it too, man. I know they are. Just wait. I wait for it. I know it's coming out. I feel it. But Arya,
Yeah, man, honestly, it was just I didn't really MIA right now. What was missing?
we can get back to you. Rusbay.
Nothing. I didn't really I didn't know what to expect, if anything, from the sports games or the EA games. I mean, Mass Effect, I didn't know that was coming, so that was kind of cool. But that's again because I didn't really focus on EA, which is better, right?
Yeah, okay.
In depth with that, but no, not really anything missing for me.
So where I was going just a minute ago, Star Wars is MIA. They showed Star Wars, but they didn't really show Star Wars.
Yeah, I agree.
We got maybe 3 seconds of the Motive Visceral game, which looks in that little bit
looks
fantastic.
But
and the hope is there, right? That this is Star Wars 1313, whether it's
New
literally 1313 or it's they're capturing that in something new.
Mm-hmm.
That alone, that promise is so exciting. Show us more. Stop with this.
Yeah.
Let's go on a global tour of what you're working on.
I know, man.
Sitting at desks. I sit at a desk. I'm cool with that. Just give me a game.
Yes.
give me a game and just
I
don't
agree
show me
100%
Star
with
Wars
that.
Galaxies because I don't want to see Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah, right.
I don't want to see it.
The one thing MIA,
That's a good point.
VR game, a proper VR game.
That's a good point.
Real VR game from EA. They're a major publisher.
They're doing Battlefront VR.
I wouldn't necessarily say
They are. It's
I
a
want-
mission basis. There might be a DLC or it might be an expansion.
how is
There's
it
your
gonna-
offline single player.
There you go.
But we
Get
don't
yourself
really
a
know.
VR.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna drop. What do I want to go?
But
with
how
the
much
pricing
do
of that?
But how much do we know about the VR from Battlefront? We don't know much. We don't know the gameplay.
So far, it's only X-wing stuff.
Exactly.
From what I've seen.
From what I know from from let's say the VR that Samsung does with like the Oculus Rift, if I'm correct, they do a Star Wars demo where you're just standing still and obviously you're just walking by. You can look around and all.
So
that
it's like a
stuff.
tour kind of.
If it's something like that, that's a gimmick. That's honestly just something you're just trying to sell the hardware and get people to buy the software of the game with it. I want a full-fledged game in VR that's going to make me buy VR. I didn't see anything like that from them. I felt like we were going to see something like that. You had your point where
I
you
thought
said they're going to have a sports game. This should have been the year that they had a sports game in VR, but they didn't come out with one.
They didn't, and I feel like
That's an interesting point because EA with their sports licenses can really push VR.
but they didn't do it. They're afraid to put so many resources into VR when it's not even released yet. Like, why are you gonna spend money, make a game that just for something that hasn't even launched?
Sure.
That's what I think they're
And
kind
on
of
such a
holding on.
small market.
Yeah, exactly,
First early adopters are going to be quite small. But,
Sure.
but that's a whole.
Yeah,
Other thing, yeah.
That's something
Piece of
else
time. Okay.
entirely.
What the fuck moments? Or MIA? Sorry, Daniel. No. Star Wars. was
MIA is Star
Okay.
Wars. Yeah.
What the fuck moments was just honestly the entire EA press conference. We're just like, what the fuck? Like, this is all you're gonna show? Like,
Just sports fans out there
EA
expecting
access. That's all. It was what the fuck?
So Madden, FIFA, EA Access, Fee, Battlefield, Titanfall.
fans booing.
That's it. Like
fans
that's
cheering.
it. So EA, you're one of the top developers and publishers. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
The biggest what the fuck to me is that EA seems to be the last holdout of not realizing what doesn't work at an E3 press conference. We're 6 years away from Konami's 2010 just shit show, and you're seeing Ubisoft sort of gets it. They know how and when and how little to show Just Dance, right? They know not to put it on a TV. EA is still bringing Jamie Foxx and Zac Efron to demo
Battlefront.
Battlefield.
Battlefield's there.
And accidentally capture Snoop Dogg just smoking a giant blunt while playing.
That's hilarious, actually.
It doesn't. They haven't got it. They haven't figured it out that this is not. We're way past this.
Yeah.
And that's just a crazy what the fuck. They're huge.
Yeah.
As much as you love to see actors and famous people come and play these games on stage,
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
Looking at the dead eyes of Zac Efron staring into a video game that he doesn't understand is not going to make me buy Battlefield.
Not Soldier Boy. Snoop Dogg's playing with a controller.
It definitely wasn't music to his
He
ears.
tried
for Zac
hitting it
Efron,
like this too. He put the controller in his mouth.
He was playing with the controller, but everyone else around him was playing with the keyboard and mouse. So, again, it felt like you were not in the right place. You could have been somewhere else. You could have been in a better place, a better setting. They could have put him for Madden. He's actually knows football. He follows
he
football.
does. Yeah, and apparently he's a big gamer too. So.
Yeah. He has his own
All in
football
all,
league.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a. I don't know. Honestly, like we all
lost
agree.
opportunities.
Yeah,
Not a
basically,
great
yeah.
conference.
It wasn't
in
at
general.
all. So,
it hasn't
like-
been in a long time.
It's
Well, name me the last memorable one. Name me the most memorable thing that you've seen from EA in the last 3-4 years. Plant vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. Please.
I honestly, man,
Yeah, okay. Let's not get into that one.
Except for the Battlefront demo last year on Hoth, I can't think of.
But
something
how
else.
did that game turn out, though?
We gotta go back to 2013.
Horribly, but whatever. That's another discussion entirely.
How they show on stage. I mean, Battlefront.
But we
That
lear-
showed great.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
But we learned our lesson, though.
Yeah.
A long time
Unfortunately.
ago. That these never turn out to be what their stage videos are. That's why every video we've seen so far I've taken with a grain of salt, and I'm just waiting for the actual gameplay to come out.
Yeah.
Everything seems a bit too short unless they actually give me like an hour long of the gameplay.
Right.
And
Which they only
that's
did for Battlefield multiplayer.
very
but-
few games in particular did that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
All right, guys. That is our EA E3 2016 wrap up. Thank you so much for tuning in. We obviously weren't really happy with the EA conference, but what do you think about it? Please let us know. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Cena,
My name is Arya.
my name is Ruse.
My name is Daniel.
and we're Planet Loaf, just blasting off.
Don't pre-order any games.
Don't do it. Peace.
The golden rule.